Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. So, I've been speaking with some people out in the community, and I've gained an awareness, pardon me, about presuming that everyone has the same level of awareness. And I know that's, like, well, that's impossible, whatever. Yes, I mean, call me whatever. It's just coming from where I'm coming from. I assume, that a lot of stuff is common knowledge right now, but I guess it's not. So I'm going to share some things that I'm noticing is not as commonly known as I initially thought that it was. So I was touching on I was speaking to somebody the other day, and I touched on the topic of a Kundalini awakening, right? So I'm about to go on and just hit him with my spiel about the whole Kundalini process, and I noticed that they was looking at me, a little strange. So I stopped, and I'm like, yeah, what's going on? And like, um, what is a Kundalini? It is not funny, you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't know, you don't know. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? So it never crossed my mind, and I'm sure that I probably do this a lot in trying to present people with information, is to assume that they already have an awareness on a level of subject matter. And so I just get to talking about things that they have no awareness of. And some people will just allow you to continue on because they don't want to seem like they're not in the know. So I'm going to start doing these videos from as if it's being given for the first time. That's how I have to approach sharing this information. So we talk about, there's a lot of talk about spiritual journey, this spiritual journey, spiritual ascension, and all of this stuff, right? And a person may wonder, like, okay, that's all fine and dandy, First off, what do you mean spiritual journey? And how would I initiate that into my day to day? So I'm gonna do a few videos on this, but I'm gonna start with what I feel is one of the main important things that a person has to have an awareness of when deciding to pursue a spiritual journey. What is a spiritual journey? A spiritual journey is you deciding that you're done with the 3D reality and that you want more. You want to know more about who and what and why we are here. You are here. So, firstly, me personally, I've been on a spiritual journey for maybe the last 18 years now. Before it got fashionable and before it got trendy and all of that, where everybody is, kind of bandwagoning this movement, which is not good. Because, see, when you take a spiritual journey, that's you telling the creator, source, mother, father, God, the universe, and everything in between. You're telling them, like, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to know more, to be more, and to do more. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with just the 3D physical perspective and awareness reality game. I'm ready to ascend, or I'm ready to gain an awareness of higher understandings, right? So when you when you honestly do that and you send that energy out to the universe, to Mother, Father, God, the creator, source, however you care to label it, you know what I'm saying? Fine. They say, oh, okay, we got another one. Say ready to wake up. So, cool. Let's go. Because that's all the spirit realm, the divine realm. I'll say the divine realm. That's all the divine realm is ever waiting for us to do on this journey that we're having down here, is get to the point where we're ready to have an awareness of higher spiritual understandings. So I would suggest the first thing that you do is learn about chakras. Chakras. Learn about chakras, because chakras are the key to you stand in this 3D type of awareness and reality, or you being able to ascend to higher understandings and awarenesses of the universe and the divine, right? So for those who are aware of chakras and the way that it works and structured and all of that, that's great. But there is a lot of people, which is kind of been throwing me off a little bit, because my assumption, which is wrong, you're never supposed to assume, but I just assumed that people had an awareness of chakras, because I've been on this journey so long that it's become common, like common ground topics, conversations, information, all it's just it's normal to me. You know what I'm saying? But it's very, very foreign to a lot of the other community, right? So the first thing, like I said, I feel that will get you walking in the right direction of spirituality is learning about your body's chakra system. So we have 7 chakras. There's more chakras, but just for this beginning breakdown, we're gonna stick with the 7. There's 7 human chakras, human bodily chakras, right? Which is the crown, the third eye, the throat chakra, the heart chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the sacral chakra, and then the root chakra. Now, each of these chakras are designated to specific parts of the human body, of our bodies. You know what I'm saying? They dictate certain actions and reactions and everything like that. Now, the first 3 chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, those 3 are specifically for interacting and engaging with this 3D physical reality. Those are the ones that's attached to the physical side of things. Then you have your heart chakra, which is the 4th chakra, which kind of acts as the mediator between the upper 3 chakras and the lower 3 chakras. And you got the heart chakra in the center. That's the mediator, right? And then the top 3 chakras are your spiritual chakras. You have your throat chakra, your third eye chakra, and your crown chakra. So, when taking this journey, and I don't mind calling it a journey because, yes, that's exactly what it is. I've been on this thing, like I stated, for 18 years and counting. And I've been up, down, all around. I done backslid, I done got back, I done straddled the fence, I done been all the way on the good side. I done fell back and reverted back to the Lord's side. I done everything in between. It's been a lot of trial and error. And I didn't have a teacher per se to direct me in how to make the most out of my journey. Like I said, I just had to learn. I had to crash course and learn it that way, which is fine because I am very, very, very pleased with the place and space that I'm in these days. Now, as I said, the chakras are the most important thing dealing with your spiritual journey, because without this alignment, you can never elevate beyond your 3D reality, 3D dimensionality, right? Because the throat chakra is a spiritual chakra and a powerful chakra, because that's where the vibration comes from, the frequency. Like thought is the cause of it all. Thought is the creator. Thought is the creative source. But when you imagine and you think and push these thoughts out in frequencies, vibrations, and waves out to the universe, the universe receives them. And what the universe is going to do, I'm trying my best not to jump all over the place. So I'm going to see if I can stick to this. So, when you send these thoughts out, you send these energetic signals out to the universe, and then the universe responds to them. Well, with the throat chakra, when you speak, with the speech, the vibration, the baritone, the vibe, that amplifies the energy of the thoughts that you sending out. You know what I'm saying? There's a power. That's why they say there's a power in the spoken word. Like there's a throat chakra. And this is a creative tool to assist you in manifesting whatever realities you're trying to create more expeditiously. I think that's what T.I. said. I love it. He said expeditiously. You know what I'm saying? That's the like I said, it's an amplifier. It puts more oomph to it, to where it's just a stronger vibration of your intention that you're sending out. You know what I'm saying? It's an amplifier. And then your third eye, which is your second spiritual chakra, for those who are not aware, this is what's known as your pineal gland inside of the brain. And it's called the third eye chakra. Now, not to jump the gun, I'm just going to speak on these briefly because it's going to require a lot of work and commitment to even get to the point where you're ready to try to activate your third eye, right? A lot of balancing, a lot of dark night of the soul, a lot of shadow work, a lot of removal from people, places, things, energies, frequencies. You got to be mindful of your eye gates and your ear gates, what you're taking in either one of these, because that's programming your subconscious mind without you really realizing it if you're not paying attention. And so you got to be mindful of all energies that you take in. But yeah, so your third eye, this is when the connection back to the divine opens up for you. And now you can communicate with the ancestors. You can communicate with the ancestors. With me, you can receive messages. You can have an awareness, a heightened awareness of this false reality that we reside in. And then the crown, your crown chakra, which is your third spiritual chakra, is what connects you back to universal consciousness, which you will remember again all things, and you will be able to directly communicate and engage and download, and it's called, once you open your crown chakra, this is where the Christed consciousness comes from. Now, what is the Christed consciousness? Hold on. What are you talking about? The Christed consciousness is what the story of Jesus was referring to. You know what I'm saying? When they said that he ascended or he leveled up to a point to where he was able to do what seemed to humankind at that time to be miraculous works. And everybody knows the story of Jesus and the things that he's done, from the turning water to wine, to the fish, to the walking on water, to the resurrecting the dead, to the all of the stories that come with it. That's because he was in the Christed consciousness. He opened his crown, and thus it gave him access and remembrance to the true essence of his being, which also, I forgot to mention, with your third eye, it helps you connect back. When you connect back with your third eye, it helps you connect back with your higher self. See, we all have higher self. We are just fragments of our oversoul, which is the real us, which is the God spark, what the Creator created. When they say we were made in the image and after the likeness of God, that's what they're referring to, our oversoul. And then our oversoul turns around and fragments itself. You know, the oversoul stays with the divine. That's why they say that you can never be separated from God, because your higher self, your oversoul, has never been disconnected and could never be disconnected from God, right? So what your oversoul does is it fragments itself in little sparks, consciousness sparks, so that it could experience different levels of dimensionality. You know what I'm saying? Thus, this is how God is able to experience pieces of himself in all dimensions, parallels, and everything else in between. Hold on. Okay, so where was I at? Okay, so where was I at? Oh, the oversoul. So yeah, so the oversoul breaks itself down into fragments, you know, so that it can experience all levels of creation and existence. And the soul that our bodies are in, like our soul is not inside of our physical bodies. It's really more like our physical bodies is in the energy of our soul, because our soul is too big for normal conscious minds to really process and fathom, you know, the enormity of what one soul spark fragment is. You know what I'm saying? But that's getting ahead too. We're getting all that at another time. But all I really wanted to put this up for today, and I'm going to touch on it some more, is if I was to advise anyone on the first step to take, a first honest step to take towards your spiritual journey, it would be to learn about your chakra system, because that's going to take you everywhere else. That's going to cover a lot of ground for you. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is vibration, right? And chakras, when balanced, everything will sync up. But when unbalanced, this is what causes dis-ease. They say disease, but it's really your body's dis-ease, because there's a imbalance somewhere in the lineup, and you have to figure out where it's at, where it's coming from, whether it's coming from your root, whether it's your sacral, your solar plexus. You know what I'm saying? Them pretty much gonna be the ones, because you ain't really got no disruptions with your higher chakras until you tune in, or unless you try to cheat and focus specifically on your spiritual chakras without balancing your physical chakras, that's gonna be messy. The best way to approach this whole thing is to start from your root chakra and work your way up. That way, when you get to the top, everything else is in sync and balanced out, and it'll flow. It'll be wavy. There'll be no turbulent waters or turbulent energies or no turbulence in the flow. So I just wanted to speak on that for right now. Also, there's something called having to face the dark night of the soul. Now, I know it may sound kind of, oh my God, dark night of the soul. But it's not a bad thing. That's just, for whatever reason, that's how it was labeled. Because what the dark night of the soul is this is what's going to put you on course. And the dark night of the soul is really when you just remove yourself from everything, everybody, and do a hard reset and a review of who and what you really are. Not the ego illusionary side of who and what you think you are, but no, a honest, like between nobody else but you and God, you and Source, you and Creator, you and Mother, Father. It's a honest inspection of self. And upon that inspection, if you are honest with yourself, you're going to recognize a lot of negative, low vibrational things that are connected with you that now hopefully you'll want to start working on and remove. And it's people, places, and things. It's a lot. This journey is not for the faint of heart. This journey is not for the weak. Like, people I see a lot on social media, all these kind of representations of what a spiritual journey looks like, what an awakening looks like. No. Honest, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. At points in times, this thing was horrifying. Like, because you come across things and you start getting awareness of things that it's mind boggling. You know what I'm saying? And you come to realizations about yourself that you have to come to terms with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't play pretend with yourself. You have to come to terms with it. And a lot of people really don't want to take an honest look in that mirror. But that's where salvation comes from. Like, you have to see, like, in order to solve a problem, it has to be placed in a proper equation. You know what I'm saying? And in order to solve a problem, you have to first realize that a problem exists. They say, one of my favorite sayings, and they say the truth will set you free, or tell the truth and shame the devil. That is real. Because when you tell the truth to yourself, there is no space nowhere else for lies, deceit, or manipulation. If you can be honest and truthful with yourself, nothing low vibrational or manipulative or anything like that can no longer get in your space. You'll start to see clear. Everything will start making sense. And that's my motto. Make it make sense. So, this is just the first video I'm going to do on this. I'm going to go more in depth. I'm going to talk about crystal healing and, the different cycles of the planets and the moon cycles and all that. Because as above, so below, that is real. Like, everything going on out here and above, outside of us, is going on in here and inside of us. We just got to tune in. So, chakras would be a great first step. Learn about chakras. I'll be getting more into that later.